Hey guys, Techman here, also known as Matthew Rivera, and today I'm going to be unboxing the Behringer U-Phoria UMC202HD, and I am replacing the PreSonus Audio Box i2 with this. So, let's get started. So as you can see from around the box, there's nothing much happening around the box, honestly. It's just really the front that's going on and then the back. Now this audio interface can go up to 24-bit, and 24-bit is bit depth, and then 196 kilohertz is sample rate. Now I will only be using 24-bit 48 kilohertz because that's studio quality. 44.1 kilohertz and 16-bit is sort of like CD quality. So here's what we get inside the box. There's nothing really here, but you do get the very first thing here, which is the manual. And these manuals have Japanese, Chinese, and then has a bigger pamphlet that has all the languages in the entire world, including English. And then we have the awesome Behringer sticker. And these manuals don't really do much. They only really do warnings, and they also like show what each dials do and buttons with numbers connecting to them, almost like diagrams to show you what they do. And that's really pretty much what those pamphlets are. They're sort of an instruction guide. And then of course we have the awesome sticker here, which I think I have like 3 or 4 of them and I still haven't used them or placed them anywhere, so I'm a hawker for stickers. So here is the PreSonus Audio Box i2, and I've been using this for a few years now. As you can see, it has its wear and tear on it. I got this off of Facebook Marketplace, and I just want to not use this anymore because you see all those clear buttons that you see that has the 48 volts and then 2 buttons next to the gain dials. They produce such a bright blue light, and it's in my face constantly, and I really don't like that. And as you can tell, it's not really a bad audio interface. I really like it. It's just I don't like looking at the blue light constantly, and I know that the UMC U-Phoria brand only has little tiny LEDs, and they aren't big at all. So as you take out the audio interface, on your right of the audio interface, you will see a little package here, and that is going to be your USB, and that's where you connect it to the back of the audio interface, and then to your computer. This USB is USB type A to USB type B. The B side is just that little tiny square weird looking thing. There's no power supply, no nothing. The UMC202HD has a power supply, and I use the power supply, and it also has a USB. And mind you, this is not USB 3.0, this is USB 2.0. So this audio interface is a full metal body, and as you see from the front, on the left side you have 2 XLR to 1/4 combo jacks, which are very useful if you want to use like a microphone and then plug in your guitar, bass, whatever. And these microphone preamps are Midas, and Behringer and Midas are the same company. That's why you see Behringer X32 and M32 from Midas. They're both the same thing. Honestly, these microphone preamps are probably one of the best sounding microphone preamps that I've heard, and I've dealt with like PreSonus, as you know. I dealt with Yamahas and all those things, and honestly I feel like the Midas have much more clarity to them, in my opinion. And as you're hearing, I'm recording via a MXL990, and it's actually going into the UMC202HD without any type of post-processing at all. And along with that no post-processing at all, there's no filters, no nothing. The knob on the UMC202HD is sort of between where the D and the A is in between of Midas. In Premiere Pro, I only have a 3 dB raise, and that's it. There's nothing else, and you can tell it's very clear and it's loud, and I'm very surprised because I'll show you what I was dealing with before with the PreSonus AudioBox i2. Following from the left to right, you have your gain 1 and gain 2 knobs with the clip and signal, and the clip has a red light and the signal has a green light. Buttons switch from line to instrument, and then you have a pad, and Behringer did not supply any type of spec on the pad of like how much it's taking out of the signal. Then you have a knob that is an output knob, and that output knob goes to the 1/4 in the back of the audio interface. You can turn that knob up and it will turn up your studio monitors that you have plugged in. Above the output knob, you have direct monitor. So when you press that, input 1 will be left, input 2 will be right, but when you press that button, you will hear 0 latency signal that is going into either of those inputs. Then next to the output knob, you have a power indicator light, and you have a plus 48 volts phantom power indicator light. The power has an orange light, and then the phantom power has a red light. Then next to those indicator lights, you have a 1/4 plug or jack that you plug headphones into, and above that is the knob to attenuate. Currently, as mine stands, it's probably maybe 20 to 30%, and it's pretty loud, honestly. And yet again, I'll show you what I was dealing with that specific side on the PreSonus AudioBox i2. Honestly, explaining the front took way more time than I anticipated, and I have no clue why, but let's move on to the back side. And on the back side, you have your phantom power switch, which on the Behringer U-Phoria series are usually on the back. You have the USB where you plug it in, and then you actually have a monitor out for left and right 1/4 inches, or you can plug in studio monitors or any type of speakers that can allow 1/4. So along with the bright lights of the PreSonus AudioBox i2 that I didn't like, the knobs were pretty hard to move, and as you can see, I can move the knobs with 1 finger. Then with the AudioBox i2, as you can see, when I move these knobs, they can't move, and if you look, that they are like sectioned, or they're just little taps every single time you turn it, and there's not a freeing sense of the knob moving. It's like it's set in stone with the AudioBox i2 that there's no low, high, middle, or whatever. It's just that knob that move. If you saw on the preamp knob that the knob is pretty much almost to max, and even with that, when I record voiceovers or anything with Premiere Pro or even in OBS, I have to put the gain of whatever I recorded with the PreSonus to 25 to 30 dB for it to sound decent. And with that, it clips and just doesn't have a good sound anymore. And don't get me wrong, the preamp of the PreSonus is an amazing sounding preamp. As I said before in the beginning, I got this on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know the history or the abuse or anything that went through this, and I feel like just the preamps got old and they're just quieting down, and they're basically on their last leg. I'm not bashing PreSonus because they do have some really good products. I just think that the age of this audio interface is what caused the downfall of the preamp being so high. So finally I get to show you what comes in the box. So what comes in the box is the Behringer UMC202HD, the 3 manuals in different languages, the awesome sticker, and then the USB type A to USB type B USB that you plug into your computer. Now if you're using a Mac with this audio interface, all you have to do is just plug it in. That's the awesome perks of having a Mac. But if you're using this on a Windows like what I'm doing, you have to install a driver from Behringer's website. So let's do that right now. Now before I get into setting this up, I just want to point out the size difference of both of these things. So as you can see, the AudioBox i2 is pretty big, but if you look at the 202HD, it's significantly smaller in length and width size. The Behringer has a little bit, just a little bit of a height difference, and it's not much, but honestly I'm so glad that I'm using this Behringer one because the PreSonus has such a big shape. Unlike the Behringer, it's just smaller, and it's sort of like you can just tuck it into a small place and it won't take up so much space on your desk. So the first thing you want to do is open your browser and go to Behringer's website. Instead of going to Behringer.com, I just typed the unit itself in, and it brought me directly to it. Next, you want to go to software, and there will be a few drivers that you see, but always pick the latest and highest number one. That means it is up to date. So click that, check I agree to above terms, and press download. So we're going to click the file and extract it, and it's going to extract it into your downloads and it'll open up automatically. And now we're going to open up the program. Now as you watch me set up this program, it's pretty much straightforward. I want to show you all something that you see UMC202HD 192K, and then it has DFU. So this is not what it's supposed to do, unfortunately, because you have to install the driver first and then you plug it in. I knew this already, and I just wanted to point that out because I feel like a lot of people would be like, yeah, let's straightforward go into this and just plug everything in. I tried fixing it during the recording to see if you can plug it in first and then install the program, and it's just not going to work. So what I would do is that install the driver first. Once it's completed, restart your computer, then you plug into the audio interface, and that error in the device manager would disappear. Now once you restarted your computer, now you can plug in your audio interface. So plug that in and you'll get those messages on the bottom as usual, on the bottom right, and then wait till it sets up and then you're ready to go. Have you subscribed yet? If not, what are you doing? You should. When you subscribe, there is something called a notification bell, and when you press that, you will get notified whenever I upload a video like this or any type of video. I also have a vlogging and gaming channel. The links are in the description box below, and you can check it out at the last 20 seconds of this video. Go ahead and subscribe, because I found out that 98% of people who watch and go to my channel do not subscribe. So go ahead and subscribe and support the channel. You are helping me create these awesome reviews and just get better content out to y'all. Finally, I have a audio interface that is working perfectly. It's brand new. I know the history behind it, and I know that I'm not going to have any issues anytime soon. My 404 HD I got, I think, 3 years ago, and it's still running like a champ. And I'm just so glad I got this. It was so annoying that the audio quality of voiceovers and audio recordings of when I use OBS was just so bad. And if you think about it, I have a 404 HD and now I have a 202 HD. What is up next? I do want to say, when I was showing you how to set up the program, I actually went through my entire setup, and I decided not to do it in this video because I think it will be maybe about 25 to 30 minutes long. So In the future, I'm going to dedicate a video solely for that and just show you everything that I do with effects and sound and just pretty much anything that I do with recording with OBS, and also a little bit with Premiere Pro, but I don't really do much. Anyways, I've done enough talking. I hope you enjoyed this video, and this is the Techman signing off. See you later, guys.